Hello there everyone, my name is Hytale and welcome to a Hytale blog post video. It's been a while since Hytale actually had an actual blog post. So this came out on July the 1st actually, and this is the second time I'm actually recording this video, fun fact. So what I will be doing everyone, for today's video, I'm going to read the important things that need to be read out in this blog post. And I'll make sure to leave a link down below for anyone who wants to read the whole thing. So everyone, hopefully you guys do enjoy this video, and with that being said, let us begin. So just starting off by reading the introduction, the Hytale team greets us by saying hello everyone. In today's post we're going to provide an update on the progress we've made in the last 6 months, explain how our plans for Hytale have evolved, and take a look at some new and updated aspects of the game, including weapon-specific combat styles, character customization, and AI. The Hytale team continues by saying how the first half of 2021 has been a period of significant change at the Hypixel studios for them, and how the experience for them has changed. They also say we've changed the way we work, steadily moving away from the exploratory approach that has defined the project's first few years towards more efficient, targeted production milestones. At the same time, our design for Hytale has been evolving, while in other areas we've expanded on established groundwork. Alright, continuing on, the Hytale team says, our plan for Hytale is ambitious, and we're very fortunate to be in a position where we have the time, people, and resources that we need to get it right. However, getting it right involves a ton of experimentation, iteration, and change. This introduces a lot of uncertainty to the development process, and while we believe this is healthy, it's been good to challenge our assumptions. It has also meant that we've been less open than we used to be. We've needed space and time to make major decisions about the project. Even so, we know that half a year is a long time to wait for an update. The reason that answers have not been more forthcoming this year is because, until recently, we did not have them. We have spent this time considering many possible approaches to launch, factoring in many different perspectives, doing a ton of research, and developing a better understanding of what we need to do in order to meet our goals. And now everyone comes the disappointing news to some. What has become increasingly apparent is that we have several more years of work ahead of us before Hytale is ready to launch. We don't want to provide another estimated launch window that turns out to be incorrect. However, we no longer expect to be ready to launch Hytale before 2023 at the earliest. It could very well take longer. So then everyone, they talk about the two key considerations to why this is. And the first is that their capabilities as a studio has significantly improved, and the scope of what they can do has expanded. And the second reason everyone is that they want to bring Hytale to multiple platforms so that everyone can play together and stuff, and everyone can share creations. But that would mean that they would have to update Hytale's engine as well, and they would have to update some things. Continuing on everyone, the Hytale team says, arriving at this decision has been a challenging process. None of us expected this to be such a long project, and we're aware that this brings its own risk and cost. We're mindful of the dangers of scope creep, and we're working to ensure that we proceed with a strong sense of what done means. Continuing on, they say, we also know that prolonged development is going to be unwelcome news for the Hytale community. We stated back in December that we didn't believe it was fair to allow anticipation to remain at fever pitch. However, we are aware that reduced communication over the last 6 months has allowed speculation to bubble back up again, and that news of a longer wait is likely to be a shock to many. Even so, we strongly believe that the choice to spend longer in development will serve our community best in the long run. It's worth reiterating that we won't release Hytale as a surprise. When we're on the final approach to launch, we'll let everybody know in plenty of time. There will undoubtedly be new job listings, updates to our website, and changes to our back-end systems in the intervening period. While we understand the temptation to interpret these as a sign that launch is imminent, they're a normal part of our working process and not an indication that our plans have changed. Another consequence of this approach is that weekly screenshots are no longer a viable way for us to update the community. The major technical changes that we're making will mean that for a long time, it will be more complicated to produce screenshots and clips that accurately reflect the experience that players will have when Hytale launches. We're also looking at a longer production process, and we want to make sure that Hytale has some surprises left in store when players get their hand on it. So in conclusion to this, the Hytale team says we'll post fewer, more substantial official updates interspersed with increased engagement from the team as we go about the day-to-day work of building Hytale. The Hytale team then states that all of these decisions have been challenging for them, but they understand that they are in a fortunate position. And they state that they are in this position because of the Hytale community. Alright, so moving on to expanded character personalization, everyone. I'm not going to go into too much depth with this, everyone, just because I need to save some of these clips and these pictures for the closer look video. And I also need to save some of the paragraphs as well for the closer look video. So the Hytale team says the personalization of your player character is a central theme of Hytale. We're making a game that offers a lot of different ways to play, from solo or co-op adventure to mini games and other social activities. Your character is at the heart of all of these, a living expression of your choice, experiences, and achievements. We want to ensure that players feel unconstrained in their creativity and self-expression, and that has meant taking a new approach to the player character, who they are, what they can be, and how they fit into the world of Hytale. Alright, moving along, they say you are free to mix and match basic components like faces, eyes, and hair. Layer on additional fantastic elements like horns, pointy ears, or tusks, and combine these with modern fashion, adventuring garb, or cosplay. We're continually working to expand the options available, while also extending our layering system to allow for more sophisticated customization of clothing and gear. We want players to feel free to carve out their own identities and feel supported in doing this, both by the suite of options on offer and by the story of Hytale itself. Creativity and change are the lifeblood of the Alterverse, and avatars are its living expressions. Okay, so moving on to this next topic, everyone, it says a new approach to combat. Now, I believe in the December development update, if I'm not mistaken, they had hinted something at this. Not specifically to combat, but they said that they took some things back to the drawing board. But the Hytale team starts off here by saying, we've begun completely rebuilding Hytale's combat system over the course of last year, prototyping and testing several revisions before adopting our current approach. At the heart of these changes are the weapons that each avatar carries. Which weapons you carry forms the cornerstone of your combat playstyle, providing you with a set of abilities specific to that weapon type. We want to make sure that weapons feel distinct from one another, offering more than simple changes to attack speed or damage. Alongside these changes, we've also overhauled the audio and VFX for combat to emphasize the power of each blow. The UI is undergoing significant changes to support the new combat system, including dedicated UI elements for new features like stamina, blocking, and signature moves. We're not ready to share these changes just yet, which is why we've disabled the UI in the clips below. Okay, so moving along, they say here's a very different weapon, the Mace. The Mace strikes are slow, consume a chunk of stamina, but do plenty of damage and knockback. Basic attacks take the form of steady right-left swings, while the alternate attack provides the high knockback hilt bash. The Mace can be charged to perform a powerful special attack, and its signature is a devastating leap slam that deals massive damage and knockback to all enemies near its impact zone. That sounds amazing. Good Mace players are always aware of the timing and direction of their strikes to avoid wasting stamina on wild swings. Their defensive power comes entirely from managing the flow of battle with knockback, so positioning and situation awareness are key. Alright, so moving on to AI advancements, and once again, I have not forgotten that there are a few sentences up there that I did skip on purpose. That is because I am saving them for the closer look videos for when we're analyzing pictures, because the sentences and paragraphs up there go with the clips and the pictures. So starting off on this topic, the Hytale team says, in the last 6 months, the team has made substantial addition to Hytale's modular AI system in order to add depth, interest, and variety to PvE combat. The new system, which we've been calling the Combat Action Evaluator, allows NPCs to make smarter decisions about targets, weapons, and approaches to battle. The system allows specific creatures to express their personalities through the way they fight. NPCs' assets various conditions, including number and behavior of foes, in order to guide their next action. These range from the target and timing of their basic attacks to the execution of specific actions, like switching weapons, using a special attack, or fleeing. The system is built to be configurable and allows for various degrees of fuzziness. Just because the system can choose an optimal move, that doesn't mean that NPCs have to use them. We've built it in this way in order to prevent NPCs from becoming predictable. We found that characters have a greater sense of life when they're allowed to make mistakes. Okay, and ending off this section, the Hytale team says, our goal wasn't necessarily to create an AI that could perfectly mimic a player, but we've gotten closer than we expected. This dueling AI has proved useful for testing new weapon designs, and it's claimed its fair share of victories against some of the better PvPers on our team. So now everyone, moving on to the final topic, it says, we know that this has been a long post with a lot of new information to digest, and we want to reiterate how grateful we are for the passion and enthusiasm of the Hytale community. The development of Hytale continues to be a long, exciting, challenging journey, and it's not always been easy, particularly when we've had to make tough decisions. At the end of the day, however, what motivates us is a desire to do right by our team and by our community. We'll leave you with a new track from the Hytale OST, Adventure and Chill, by Hytale composer Oscar Garvin. This track was composed as an introduction to Hytale as a whole, branching out from the main theme to touch on all the different elements of the game we're creating. An immersive and inviting world, a welcoming social space, and a creative sandbox with boundless opportunities for self-expression. Bringing this world to life has turned out to be more challenging than any of us expected, but we're more confident than ever that we're heading in the right direction. So everyone, I will leave a link to this song if you guys want to hear it. I've already listened to it actually, prior to this video being made. I listened to it last week. But yeah, that is it for the blog post video. That is it. Anyway, that is it. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please feel free to like and subscribe, as well as turning on notifications if you want to see more Hytale videos from me. So yeah, with that being said, I will have the closer look video out soon. And I also just wanted to announce as well, I've completely overhauled my Discord server. So if you guys want to join up, you can. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next Hytale video.